Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we are looking at the Swagman CURRENT electric bike rack here on our 2022 Jayco Greyhawk. So the Swagman CURRENT adds into the limited selection of electric bike racks that can fit on your Jayco. Since you do have a motorhome, this is perfectly fine, but if this was on like a fifth wheel or a travel trailer, it would not be as ideal of a fit. But here we have it built where you got the weight capacity for your really heavy bikes, as well as the heavy duty strength to stand that extra road stress and road vibration on the back of your motorhome. So let's take a look at how this fits here on our Jayco Greyhawk. So we have the bike mounted up. Now we have a regular bike on here, but this can work with a large variety of bikes. So whether you have your electric bikes, your step-through bikes with an adapter, this can fit, as well as your fat tire bikes, you're perfectly fine. So we have a large strap that just goes over here. It has a nice cushion which holds down your bike's wheel, and when you want to take your bike off, this is where you start. You press the lever and you pull up on the strap, and just watch how it goes all the way out to the side and it's not tangled up on your spokes. So do one, then two, and then you go over here to the middle to do the frame mount. So this has the traditional frame hook that comes down and secures your bike by its frame. Now if you do have a step-through bike or an alternate frame bike, like a really low women's bike, this may not be the best fit, and I do recommend getting a frame adapter bar to do so. Now you will lose that locking capability if you do have that frame adapter bar, so I recommend also picking up a cable lock if that happens. Now to take this off, you press on that button and then you just lift up. Honestly, what I like to do is just take those hooks all the way off. That way I have less to maneuver around when I have to bring down my bike. And if you do have a heavier bike, you can just lower this mast as well. So you lift that lever and push this mast down. That way it's only a slight lift, and then you are ready to go on a bike ride. Now with this bike out of the way, I'll just set it to the side so that we can take a closer look here at our cradles. So we have these extra large cradles, and these can be adjusted back and forth for your different bike wheelbases. Now also, if you do have some clearance issues with like pedals and handlebars and your seat posts, this is a nice way to get rid of those clearance issues. You have this extra long strap, and notice how the cradle is also extra wide. So you have your smaller grooves for your regular bike tires, and you have your wider grooves for your fat bike tires. So the maximum tire width this can fit with is 5 inches. Now notice how that strap just ratchets down to secure your wheel, and that's when you do appreciate that cushion on the inside, because that's going to help protect your bike's wheel as well as add a little bit of extra grip right there. So we're going to take some quick measurements, but first I'll bring this mast right up so that you can see how it looks when you're ready to load your bike. So we're going to put these down so you can see how those hooks work. You have that lock that goes right there, as well as that button. So this hook ratchets down to secure your bike's frame. There we go. And the height from the bottom of the tray to the top of that hook is 21 inches. So if your frame sits below that hook height, you will need to get a frame adapter bar to use this bike rack. Now the length added to the back of our vehicle is from the bumper to the end of the cradle. It will be about 26 inches of length added. Now your motorhome is already a little bit longer than your normal trucks or your normal SUVs, so that won't be as big of a difference. But remember, whenever you're backing into your campsite or your parking spot, it's nice to know that you do have that length added because of your bikes. Now we'll lower this mast so that we can bring it down into the portable position. Let's move these up so that we have clearance. There we go. And then that lowers down depending on where your cradles sit. That should give it enough space right there. And then this pops right back in. Now, if we have it right over here, notice how we have clearance with our ladder of about 9 inches with it folded down, and we're going to fold it up by pulling this lever and pushing up on it. There we go. Now when you do have platform racks on your RV, on your motorhome, you want to make sure it has clearance with your bumper. So the closest point between our cradle and our bumper is going to be right over here, and that has a 2-inch clearance between the two, so no issues at all with clearances. Length added with it folded up is now going to be 16 inches, which is nice because when you're not going out for a bike ride, you would like it folded up so it's less obtrusive. Now let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. Since this has a 60-pound per bike weight capacity, you want to make sure it's a nice secure fit in your hitch, especially with your heavier bikes loaded up. So this comes with an anti-rattle bolt and a lock. Now that lock is going to be key to like with the locks on your mast. Now if you do need to get that frame adapter bar as well as a cable lock, I recommend picking up a set maybe here at etrailer to try to get as much of it key to like. They won't all be, so that's just something you're gonna have to work with. And it also comes with a tool to tighten it down, but I use a socket wrench with a 3/4 inch socket because it's so much easier to do it that way. But you can see with that tightened down, as I try to give it some shake there, it's a secure fit. Awesome. If you do feel any shakes, make sure these bolts are tightened down because that's what's holding your main part of your bike rack down and reducing the shake. So my final thoughts about the Swagman Current is I do like how it gives me a good amount of weight capacity. 60 pounds is nothing to sneeze at. If you do have heavier bikes, you may want to take a look at the Swagman E-Spec or the Hollywood Racks RV Rider with an 80-pound weight capacity. But this is a really nice and easy bike rack to use, minimal effort involved. If you do have a step-through bike, maybe check out the Hollywood Racks RV Rider. But if you're fine with that hook that comes down, this will work out for you, especially here on our Jayco. I do like how we have clearance with our ladder and our bumper. So that was a look at the Swagman Current 2 bike rack here on our 2022 Jayco Greyhawk. My name is Evangeline, and I hope you enjoyed the journey.
Here on our test course, we'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action. This simulates turning corners or evasively maneuvering. Once we get to the alternating speed bumps, we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. Once we get to the full speed bumps, we'll see the up and down action. This will be just like driving in and out of a parking lot, parking garage, or driveway.